The Retro Game 300 Handheld Tech Review. Hello everyone, this is DenoxSeries speaking once again, and today I will be reviewing a new handheld gaming device I just got recently called the Retro Game 300. This is a retro gaming machine made in the UK that comes with hundreds of games for NES, Super NES, Game Boy/Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, Neo Geo, PC Engine, PS1, and many others. It comes in this Retro Game 300 box that includes the device itself, the instruction manual, and the USB-C cable for charging. This little gaming device contains over 4,000 games in total if I'm not mistaken. But as good as having that many games from all sorts of retro consoles in one device, is it really a solid device? Well, let's talk about the hardware first. This device is mainly shaped as a miniature classic Game Boy with a vertical design. It has the plus directional buttons for movement, a start and select button, and also a Y, X, B, and A buttons shaped just like the same buttons from a Super Famicom controller. There are also two small black circle buttons on top of each other. The top one is for brightness settings, which has 6 levels of brightness, and the bottom is normally for home button, but sometimes to exit off a specific emulator, the select or Y/X buttons can be used to go to the menu as well. On the back of the device, we have the L and R trigger buttons that is actually placed at a great spot where usually your index finger will be laid to press these trigger buttons, and it is very comfortable in my hands when placed this way. When you turn on the handheld, you will see a green light display on the back of the device. It can change to orange when putting it to charge. This device has up to 5 to 6 hours of battery life. It's pretty decent, I believe. If you open the lid of the battery, it contains a BP-5L 3.7V, which is volts, 1800 milliamps, Li-ion battery that can be easily taken out by placing your finger on the side of it and gently pulling it off. Then you will see a 16GB microSD card that comes with the device. But be careful when removing the SD card because sadly it can slide inside the plastic as well. I don't know why they designed the slot that way, so it's just something to be aware of. On the bottom of this device you will see a USB-C charging port and a headphone jack right next to it on the left. Pretty standard stuff. On the left side is a power slider that turns the device on and off, and a micro SD card slot where you can put a second SD card slot for storage if you wish to do so. On the right side is the volume control. I will say this in advance, sometimes you really have to stick your finger a little bit to move the volume control because it's fully integrated in the plastic. When you have headphones on, it does have a lower volume until you put it all the way up, but when you turn the volume up and down while with the speakers, it seems to jump from very low volume to very high volume, if you know what I mean. Here you go. When you're on the device, you will be introduced to this retro-like logo and then this menu showing the list of gaming apps to select from. Simply from looking at it, you can switch between menus with the L and R buttons. The white joystick icon contains a list of all the different retro consoles which has their own emulators, and when you click on any of them, you see a list of all the games that are available to be played within each consoles. Trust me, there is a lot. By the way, I really like the 3-inch IPS screen that this device contains. Looks very crisp and sharp. The resolution of the screen at 960x480 of this device is amazing. It also contains a ZZ4760B dual-core 528MHz CPU as well. Even some direct PC games are included in this device like Mr. Driller, Doom, Cave Story, Gambare, and 13 other games as well. According to the people at Casa de Android store located here in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, where I got the device from, they said it's not really possible to add games there, but since there is a slot to add micro SD cards, I beg to differ. I would love to add a Mario ROM hack in this device, also Nage Libre, and perhaps Advanced Variable Geo on PS1. How about we experiment this now? So basically, since I did not have an extra micro SD card to show, I just simply took the microSD out of here from this device. Then I put it in this USB card reader thingy. And I'm looking at all these folders right here where you could add or remove games at your will. And I could do that easily. And this, my friends, I go to ROMs and I go to PS. And these games I have here, yes, I added them. I own most of these games, just letting you know. And then I burned them. And then I moved the ISO files here. And there you go. I'm able to play them, just like you saw earlier. Here it is. Yep, it's amazing. So that's an example there. So as you can see, you can manually add new ROM games from your computer to the microSD card. I knew it was possible. Here I'm playing several games that did not come with the Retro Game 300, which are Advanced Variable GEO2 on the PS1 and a random Super Mario ROM hack. They all work great in this handheld without too many issues. Besides some glitch I get from NACE Libre 2 on the PS1, other than that, it runs most games from NES onto PS1 pretty well. Most games are running between 40 to 60 frames per second. As for the menu of this device, you can customize the layout of the menu by changing its color, language, screen timeout, fonts, and many more. You can also add music and MP4 videos as well in this device. So this device can technically also be an MP3 player and video player as well, similar to the iPod Classic. So that's many of the main things you can do in this all-in-one portable console. This to me is the ultimate retro gaming handheld where you could just pretty much play most of the games from NES, Super NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, PS1, and many other retro consoles older than the PS2 and Dreamcast that you could think of. Pretty much more than 95% of the games I have tried out on this device runs perfectly well, and the visual of the screen of each game I was looking plays very clear and sharp since it uses an IPS screen. The sound quality is amazing as well. Of course, there are some heavily graphic games like Donkey Kong Country, and some 3D rendered game may drop some frames and make the sound of the game a little bit choppy, but other than that, it's pretty much like the portable Retro Pi that you could play any retro games from the 8, 16, and 32-bit era. This device costed me about $70 to $80 here. Usually it's like $50 to $60 if you look hard enough, but it averages between $60 to $80. It's a pretty good deal for a game machine that you could add many classic games that you could play with this, especially on the go. You can visit their website at https://retrogame300.com to check the handhelds they sell, including the Retro Game 300. So to conclude this review, the company's name is Middlebridge Ltd, and they are based in the UK that made this handheld. So it's not a cheap China device at least. The device feels like it was built with very good quality, and I enjoy the fact that it's very easy to carry and I could put it in my pocket if I wanted to, unlike the Switch. If I want to play retro games on the go, and I do not want to go through the trouble of hacking a PS Vita or PSP, even if it's easy to hack it, you can easily transfer games from the computer to this device that you want and fit thousands of ROMs in it to play. Of course, just to clarify, many people are playing games and ROMs these days to preserve gaming history, because most companies does not provide a legal way to play most of these games due to the obscurity, like NACE Libre and Variable Geo for example. The ROMs are not the one being for sale. You are paying for the device itself and the feature that it brings. So what do you guys think about this device? Will you be willing to get this device to play retro games on the go and have all of them classic games all in one device? Let me know in the comment section below. If you find this video informative and enjoyed this review, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this and other gaming stuff that I do in this channel. And until next video guys, take care, God bless, and stay cool. See you in the next one. Bye bye. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to this channel and click the bell next to it to be notified whenever any new videos or live streams are uploaded by me. You can also join my community at the Denox Gaming Zone Discord server. Invite link in the description below. Hope to see you there.